Hi everyone, welcome to Holler Time. My name is Amy. Merry Christmas Eve. I am here today with a Yum Yum box, so stay tuned. Alright, so back with the Yum Yum box. I'm actually behind on these. This is a subscription box that I pay for myself. There's no sponsoring. They don't know who I am. I don't exist in their world. But my family loves this box. And being that it's Christmas Eve, they really wanted me to get this box reviewed. And to be honest, I have another box that's come in since this one. So that's how behind I am. So depending on how long this one takes, maybe this will be a double episode, but if not, I'll have to film that one separate. But anyway, I have no idea what country we've got this for this box, so we will find out together. And where did I, oh there it is, like where did I put my Sharpie thing? But yeah, so my daughter's working this morning or today, this afternoon, whenever, and so I figured while we're waiting for her to get home before we start our bingo game for the kids that I would come down here and see what I could record. All right. Oh, Scandinavia. Welcome to Scandinavia. So you get a card that's got kind of, a map on here and tells you some fun facts about your country. And then it also has the scoring on the back. So when I do this later with my family, we will rate each of these. And I always say I'm going to post that for you guys, but I never do. So I'm not even going to say that this time. And then they tell you if you liked some things in this box, these are some other things that you might like. And then they give you some words to learn in Scandinavian. And okay, so I think that's it for that sheet. And then they give you a book, and this book is what we will use to go through all the treats that are in the box. And then stickers. So before we get started, I'm gonna take care of the stickers, because when you first join or sign up for Yum Yum box, you get a passport in your first box. And so far we've done the Czech Republic and Germany. So if you haven't watched those videos, go check them out. I do have a playlist just for Yum Yum box. And so today we are going to take our Scandinavian stamp and put that in here. See how close in the lines we can get, not very. And then they always give you a flag sticker, so that goes in here too. And then I learned after I recorded the last video that they also give you like the flower, which you're supposed to build your own little tree back here. So we will put the flower on also. So this is kind of fun. I mean, I'm getting the fun here, right? The kids would probably like to do this, but I need to have some fun in my life too. So anyway, you just keep building. And yeah, so really love this part of it. And I'm an adult, right? So it's the kid in me that likes that, I guess. All right, so let's get started. I've got Temu stuff here ready to haul too, that depending on if I have time later today before my daughter gets home, I may film that. All right, so I really should have like a stool down here to hold this. Okay, we're just gonna dig in. So if you've never watched one of these, maybe you've seen some other haulers do tri-treats. It's very similar to that. You're getting snacks from a specific country, and YUMYUM box is very good about doing a pretty even mixture of savory and sweet. And I have the middle size box, and I will in the description have all the information in case you happen to want to sign up on your own. I think if you sign up using my referral link that we both get $5 maybe. I don't remember exactly, but it'll say in the description box. And it's like $5 off of a box. So I think this subscription is 22 bucks maybe a month. I don't know. That'll be in there too. So anyway, we're starting out with Kim's Snack Chips Original. So let me find that. They do also put trivia in here in case you're doing this with other people. I know it's like super popular in my family for us to, you know, all try it at the same time and say what we think. And of course, some of the things the kids think are gross or weird or whatever. And so that can get kind of comical. But, you know, this is a great size box to send to somebody. Maybe if you've got somebody in college, they would, you know, like getting a box like this. It's a great size box for if you're single, because it's just got a lot of snacks that you can munch on through the weeks, and or late at night if you get hungry. And then it's really good for like our family of 6. They usually give you enough of each thing that it's easy enough to split it between 6 people. All right, okay, so this is interesting. So the last 2 months we've had a ketchup kind of chip. So these Kim's snack chips are tomato and spice potato snacks. Super crisp, cheesy with an acidic tang. Back in the 19th century, getting a snack like this together would have required a lot of Danish spice traders. Cayenne, garlic, and paprika. There are a lot of spices in this snack. Because of their extensive travels, Danish spice traders often remained unmarried, earning the nickname Peppersvens or Pepper Dudes, basically bachelors. Today, this bit of history has spawned a spicy tradition. If a Dane is single on their 25th birthday, their friends will tie them up and coat them with cinnamon. If they're still single on their 30th, they're doused with pepper. We'd probably opt out if we had the choice. Think of the sneezing. Unless these uber popular cracker chips were involved. All right, well, let's just see. So looks wise, they look like a ripple kind of a chip. Also kind of like bugles. They kind of had the ridging like a bugle chip. Smells spicy. Okay, so these are super crunchy. I'm not getting a tomato flavor at all. I'm also not getting a cheesy flavor. It's hard to describe. It's spicy. I do get a garlic flavor. I'm not sure I would know the difference between the paprika and cayenne flavor, although the cayenne would be hotter than the paprika. I'm trying to think of what it compares to. It's very similar. It's almost bordering on the similarity of a barbecue style chip. But not quite. I mean, barbecue chips have a lot of seasoning on them too. So this is a little bit tamer than that would be. But yeah, I don't really taste the cheesy or the tomato. So really just can't think of anything that's got this kind of spice on a chip I'm familiar with. But so yeah, so that's okay. So it's kind of bland though. I mean, on the level of spice, like I'm not thirsty now, and I'm not feeling like this is gonna overpower the next thing I taste. You definitely get the potato flavor. But yeah, there's not, I'm gonna give this a 2 out of 5. I forgot to bring down Ziploc bags. All right, so next we have cocoa-filled oat cookies. All right, I do, though, I guess, want to take a drink since I'm going to sweet next. Oh, I see some stuff that my kids or the rest of my family is really going to love. All right, so here we've got a nice size container of oat cookies. Crispy cookies with a rich chocolatey center. This story might sound like a Hans Christian Andersen tale, but it's real. In 1864, Karen Wolf was born in a tiny village in Denmark. As a teen, she worked as a kitchen manager, developing her skills as a chef and businesswoman. By age 26, she'd saved enough money to fulfill her dream, opening a bakery. Her treats soon won over Copenhagen socialites. Her business exploded, and Karen Wolf became a household name. The best part? Her happily ever after is a happily ever after for us too. 150 years later, we still get to savor her crispy chocolate-filled cookies. Yum. So, in case you're curious, there's 110 servings per calories per serving. And a serving is 1 cookie. Okay. And there's 4 servings per container, so I'm going to have to cut one of these cookies in half. And then total sugar is 9 grams. All right, so as you can see, it comes in like cups to probably make sure it doesn't break. All right, so here is one. I'm going to cut this in half. Actually, I don't have to cut this one in half because there's 3 left and I can cut those in half for us for later. Yay! See, this is the best deal, right? I get to haul it on here to show you guys, so I get my taste test then, and I get it again when I go up and do it with the family. All right, here we go. Very similar to like a Keebler style cookie. The cocoa is not overly sweet in this one. It's very crispy, but it does dissolve well as you were chewing it. Very crumbly, so make sure that you have a plate or a napkin under you. It has a good oat texture. The oat flavor is not as strong as a traditional oatmeal cookie that you might be used to. It's a very light flavor, but it's not a light cookie. It's a dense, definitely a dense, crispy cookie. And the chocolate is probably, it's not bitter, so it's not towards, I don't know, it's probably like a semi-sweet chocolate. So it's not sweet milk chocolate, but it's also not super dark. And the chocolate in the center comes across a little bit creamy, but this does not coat your tongue like some of the chocolate things that we've tried on this channel before. So that's just a really good kind of crispy kind of cookie, which reminds me, I think I need to make cookies today because I think we were going to take cookies over for Christmas. So that may determine how much I film today. All right, so that was the oat cookies. I'm not going to have room for all of this stuff. Okay, next, this is the one that I think the family is really going to like. Me, probably not so much, but we'll see. It is dill and chive potato chips. All right, this is Scandinavia's favorite flavor. Okay, well that in itself would make this a prime place for me and my husband to visit come empty nesthood. So, have you ever smelled or tasted a spice and immediately associated it with a particular cuisine? For India, it might be cumin, or perhaps tangy mustard seeds make you think of Germany. But across Scandinavia, and particularly in Sweden, dill is the herb that immediately makes you think, ah, yes, this is Scandinavian food. From tangy pickled herring, oh, I'm glad this is not pickled herring flavor, to garnishes for cured salmon, this distinctive herb makes an appearance in more dishes than we can count. So it's no surprise that locals crave the herb so much they've also added it to crunchy snacks like these potato chips as well. Take a taste and you'll just be obsessed. All right, so this is a whole serving. So for this whole bag, it's 210 calories and less than a gram of sugar. All right, let's see. It cannot be as bad as that caraway, those caraway pretzel things. Oh, I don't want these to go flying all over the room. Okay, so I will say that compared to some of the other countries, their bags are filled kind of like American bags, right? Only halfway. So your typical ripple. Super flavorful. Okay, so you're hit with the dill right at the beginning, and it's definitely got, it's not a pickle flavor, but I kind of associate it with pickle because of the dill pickles, but it really is a really strong dill flavor. So if you like deviled eggs and put dill on that, you know, kind of think like that, not just pickly. And the chive comes in at the end, which is kind of nice. I'm going to try another one of these. It's interesting because, so again, that dill, it's interesting how they do this because it really tastes like dill, but yet it kind of tastes, there's a little bit of a vinegary tang to it as well. So maybe there is some kind of pickling. Let me see. Oh, my hand's all gross now. It's got onion, dill, chives, citric acid, dill extract, and natural flavors. So I don't know how they do it. It's weird. It it does not taste like a dill pickle, but yet there's hints of, I don't know how to describe it, but it, okay, so I will give this a 4 out of 5. I feel like it's unique. I know in America we're getting a lot more dill pickle options. Like we've got dill pickle popsicles now and dill pickle chips and stuff, but this really is the dill without the pickle, kind of. I don't know. So yeah, so I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5 because I'm not a big fan of dill pickle, but this was good and unique because it's not like, I don't know, the stuff I've tasted here in America has just been more vinegary, and there's a tang with that, but just not a vinegary tang. So okay, well, more than you wanted to know about that. Next, let me see if I can find it. Oh, there's another surprise in here. I'm so excited. All right, next we've got raspberry gummy skulls. Sweet, sour, and super chewy. In Sweden, citizens have the right to roam, meaning they can legally walk, hike, swim, and most importantly, pick berries on any land, public or private. Well, shoot, if I had berry bushes, man, I'd be getting out there before anybody could come and take my berries. Locals take full advantage of this policy, spending hours combing Sweden's dense forests for fresh berries. From tart blueberries, a favorite of the Scandinavian brown bear, well, getting out of his way, to super sour lingonberries, to sweet orange cloudberries. The most coveted variety, wild raspberries. Okay, well, that makes sense to me. With these juicy, sweet, chewy raspberry gummies, we're granting your taste buds the right to roam the Swedish forest of candy. All right, so these do not have a American or an English nutrition guide conversion, so I can't tell you. Can't tell you how good or bad this is for you. Okay, let me forget that I just had chips, so I need to declog my throat. All right, let's just carefully, surgically open this bag. Okay, so we're also a big gummy fan, and there's almost always some kind of gummy in these bags. So, oh, it's a skull. So you can see the skull and crossbones. I haven't started chewing yet, but it's sour to start out with. So kind of like a Sour Patch Kid. Okay, so my eyes may start twitching a little because it's very sour. And I'm not getting a raspberry sour yet. It's really just sour. And it's kind of hard to chew through. So it's not a soft gummy. But it does say it's super chewy, which that is true. Now my mouth is starting to water, but now the raspberry flavor is coming in. I've gotten past the sour, so now it's sweet. I'm going to pause here so I can finish chewing this because this is going to take me a minute or two. Okay, so that seemed to take forever. So once I got chewing on it, you know, for a while, then it started to soften up. But sorry, that's not a reflection of this. It's just my ongoing throat drama. But I will say it never really captured the true raspberry flavor that I would expect. So if you've ever had, what are they called? The Japanese candies. Dang it. I've shown them on here before. But those somehow really capture whatever flavor they're going for. These, not so much. I think these are probably great for kids, but I'm not sure adults would appreciate this quite as much because the flavor is just not really there. Now, if you like a sour going into sweet and stuff, it definitely has that. You hear this? I have to take a drink again. But yeah, it kind of lacks on the raspberry side. So I'm going to give this a 2 out of 5. And I'm going to pause for a second so I can clear out my throat. Okay, we'll see if that's any better for a little while. All right, next is something that's, a lot of times they'll give you individual candies in a bag so that they don't go everywhere. And sometimes there's multiple kinds. I don't know if that'll be the case here, but the next item is in this bag. So let me carefully open this over the bag, or over the box. But we are looking for some chocolatey cookie dough balls. That sounds good. Okay, yeah, there are a few other things in the box, so let me find. Okay, this is it. Creamy Swedish cookie dough filling. Yum! Get this. The delicious cookie dough filled chocolate ball that you're holding in your palm originally started off as a honey capsule. What's a honey capsule? Well, no one knows because their founder, Carl Prinzel, quickly realized they were a bust, a true pioneer of the International Day of Failure. Soon after, he began making small plastic packets of hazelnut cream, which eventually turned into hazelnut cream-filled balls. Excuse me. Which turned into these cookie dough balls filled 100 years later. Talk about a sweet success. All right. So they look like a bonbon. Trying to decide if I should bite into it. Okay, well, it definitely tastes like raw cookie dough. In a good way. So, it doesn't have any chocolate chip bits in here like you would get from a normal cookie dough, but I guess it doesn't say it's chocolate chip cookie dough, but it tastes like chocolate chip cookie dough compared to sugar cookie dough. Although it kind of tastes like there's some cinnamon in here, so maybe almost like a snickerdoodle cookie dough. It doesn't say anything because it talks about hazelnut, but I don't get hazelnut from this. Maybe by the smell maybe has a little bit, but yeah, it does not. I don't get a hazelnut. Well, when I think of hazelnut, I think of Nutella, and I don't get a strong Nutella flavor, but I do kind of feel like there's some cinnamon in here. Let's look. Oh, there's cardamom, cinnamon. Okay, well, those are the two spices that they mention specifically as before they get to artificial flavors. So okay, so yeah, I think this feels more like a snickerdoodle. The outside of it is not overly sweet. It does not coat your mouth like some of those more, I almost want to say plasticky chocolates. It's also almost got a partially baked flavor, if that makes sense. Like the dough tastes like it would taste kind of after it's cooked a little. But of course it's not. But the cinnamon is very strong on this second. And I really like snickerdoodles, so I like this. But it's different having the chocolate with it. Like, I almost wonder, would this have been better with a white chocolate? But since I gave the dill chips a 4, I'm going to have to give this one a 3 because I don't think it's as good as the dill chips. But it's more unique than the other things I've been giving it 2 to. All right. Oh boy. The next one's gingerbread toffee. I don't like gingerbread. I don't like ginger or gingerbread. But we're going to try it still. Oh man. That cookie dough, that is some strong stuff. Those flavors would be really good in a coffee or even a hot cocoa. All right, gingerbread toffee. Okay, well, there's enough of this that I could eat the whole thing, but I am not eating this whole thing. But for your sake, I am going to taste it. Peppercast Cola. When it comes to gingerbread, the US and Sweden have a lot in common. Swedish gingerbread, locally known as pepparkakor, is a traditional holiday treat considered essential at Christmas parties. Well, of course. And just like in the US, the spiced cookies are commonly used to construct elaborately designed, delicious gingerbread houses. Pepparkakor. I'm butchering this, I know. But there is one gingerbread tradition that sets Sweden apart from the US, and you're holding it. Locally referred to as knack. This, well, actually, it's an A with 2 dots over it, so I don't know how that's pronounced. Knack. This chewy toffee is infused with all the festive flavor of pepparkakor. No baking required. How small of a bite of this can I take and still taste what it tastes like? So it looks like a piece of caramel. Well, it's toffee. Oh. Okay, you guys. If you have dental work, don't eat this. Oh. I hate ginger. Okay. If you like gingerbread, this tastes just like that. I don't know how they get that bread flavor, because it really does taste like, it doesn't just taste like the spices, it really tastes like the bread too, just in a different format. All right. This is gross. No, let me take that back. I don't like this at all. This gets a -1 on my scale of 1 to 5. But I think if you like gingerbread, you would absolutely love this. As long as you like toffee, because it is sticking to my teeth. I'm not going to spit it out, don't worry. Oh. Okay, I'm going to pause. I'm not going to spit it out, but it's kind of stuck to my teeth, so I'm going to pause so I can get all that finished eating. Okay, you guys, I think I'm going to be tasting it the rest of the day because I, of course, don't have a toothbrush or anything down here, or even any floss or picks, so I still have some stuck in my teeth, which is... All right. It's kind of like that first drink of Vitamin Vegemin, right? Just okay. Let's move on. The next thing is jalapeno pepper popcorn. Ooh, you know what I should do? Let's get a gross picture. Oh, is that upside down? No. That probably won't make it because that's way too small. All right. I'm not a big fan of jalapenos either, so I guess we'll see. Spiced with seasoning from central Denmark. We have a wonderful man named Klaus Pilgaard, aka Chili Klaus, to thank for this wonderful yum. In the early 2000s, Danish-born Klaus Pilgaard first tasted spicy food as a university student in London. It took him nearly 20 years to try some heat because in Denmark, spicy food isn't so common. Well, see, there's another reason to go to Denmark. He was so excited about spice that he began growing his own chili peppers, then making videos sharing his violently spicy peppers with Danish celebrities. Oh no. Since then, spice has slowly crept into Danish cuisine and popcorn. Please, please, please don't be super spicy. All right, there's 2.5 servings in this container. It's 160 calories per serving. Can you tell I'm scared? And it's less than 1 gram of sugar. Although this may be enough to take away the ginger. Oh boy. Please don't be violent. Please don't be violent. Oh no. For you, I'm going to take one more bite. Doggone it. Okay. Sorry. These are super hot for me. Now, my daughter would probably not think these are hot at all. But this, not only does it taste like jalapeno, it tastes like the seeds from the jalapenos. So it's very spicy. Now, granted, I'm not having to take a drink right away. It's not like killing me. But in the back of my throat, there's a spot where I think it sat too long, and wow, that's burning. So so I like jalapeno poppers in the US, but they've got the cream cheese to tame the jalapeno. That's the only time, well, no. I guess some nacho cheese sauces will have jalapeno, cut up jalapenos in it. But again, those aren't very spicy, and I'm sure they don't have the seeds in them. This definitely tastes like it's got the seed part, because it's weird, because I feel like I can taste the seed, not just the jalapeno. So yeah, so if you, I'm trying to decide, is it just hot and that's all I'm getting from it is hot and spicy? No, I can taste the jalapeno. So if you like that flavor, I think you'll would really like these. But this is too much for me. And now it's like right here is feeling pretty hot. So there's that. Oh, I was kind of, okay, well, what am I going to give this? Well, this it's not as bad as the gingerbread. So I'll give it a positive 1. All right. Need to have something redeeming next, which hopefully is this. These are rum icing coated cookies. Well, the butter rum lifesavers are my favorite. I mean, we don't drink in my family, but I do like artificial rum and candy, so let's hope I like it in this too. Crumbly cookies with decadent rum flavor. In Denmark, sweets are practically a national pastime. In fact, it's likely you've already tasted Danish cookies without even realizing it. You know those big tins of butter cookies that you see during the holidays? Yes. Or in your grandmother's house, the tin that should be full of cookies but is usually full of sewing supplies. Those are the Danish butter cookies. Yes, I love those. Why aren't these those? Personally, we think these cookies, iced with delightful and alcohol-free rum flavor, are even better. And don't worry, you won't find Grandma's sewing kit in this box. Oh, okay, so I'm hopeful for this, right? Still looking for something to dethrone the dill chips. And it said they were crumbly, so I need to make sure I have my paper towel. Alright, so they come in a container which looks crumbly. Oh, hold up. There's 5 servings in here, 160 calories, 8 grams of sugar. All right, let's hope this is better. So it's got they've done like one corner is iced and the other is not. I'm assuming these are just crumbles on top from the other cookies that were in there. Please be good, please be good. Okay, now it's kicked in and is good. So it is a very crumbly butter cookie. And whereas I would prefer to have almond flavoring in mine, because that's what cookies we're going to be making today are spritz cookies, which have almond extract. But these, you know, are really good butter cookies. They are more crumbly than the ones I'm used to getting in the tins here in America. The rum flavor is very light. So it's almost, you get it kind of right at the beginning, but it's very light. It dissipates pretty quickly. Now I can taste the rum right away. And I will say it does, I'm guessing, taste like an authentic rum flavor, unlike the candy. Like almost like well, see, it's gone already. It goes away so quickly. But almost like you could feel the burn that I would imagine you would get from drinking rum. It's weird how they do that. But yeah, the rum. Sorry, they're very crumbly. The rum definitely, from somebody who doesn't really have any experience with that, seems like it probably is a very authentic rum flavor. So these, they're not bad. I'm going to give them a 3. They're not as good as the dill chips. And I don't like how crumbly they are. I wish they had a little bit more sturdiness to them. I don't know if that means they need a little more fat. I don't know what it is that makes it not so crumbly, but yeah, I'm not a big fan of the crumbles, I guess. But the flavor is good. But that's why it's not going to rank higher for me than a 3. All right. Next, browned butter truffles. Okay, that sounds promising. Meet Sweden's secret ingredient. The secret spice that makes all Swedish food delicious isn't a spice at all. And if you haven't already guessed by the name of this yum, we'll tell you now. It's browned butter. By gently simmering it, the ingredient lightly caramelizes, creating a warm, nutty, decadent flavor that goes amazingly in sauces, in Swedish meatballs, baked into cookies, and transformed into luscious chocolate truffles like this. Swedish meatballs. Why are there no Swedish meatball flavored chips in here? That would have been good to try. All right, so how many of these? Okay, so I can afford to eat this whole thing. So this is more promising, right? Okay, I'm tasting the chocolate right away. I'm not getting much from the center. It's creamy, the center is, but it really doesn't have any flavor. Well, it's got some flavor, but it's hard to separate the flavor of the center from the chocolate around the outside. Am I getting a nutty flavor? I don't think so. Can I get some of this where it's just the... maybe a little bit of nutty flavor, but the chocolate really overpowers it. So if you're eating the whole thing, like most people would probably just pop this in their mouth and eat the whole thing, I think you wouldn't be able to distinguish the two taste from each other. But by itself, what does it remind me of? It doesn't remind me of anything. It doesn't remind me of caramel. Doesn't remind me, I mean, it's sweet. And if you like a bonbon that is very creamy, you would love this. Because really, it ends up just tasting like a chocolate bonbon. Yeah, not really getting anything else besides the chocolate when it's all together. So I'm going to give it a 2. So this box, I had high hopes for this box, but it's really been kind of, I don't know, maybe they need some more spice from Klaus Pilgard. Not that kind of spice, but I don't know, more flavor. All right, next, and I think last, is this the last item? Yep. Hang on. Yeah, I'm trying to, it really doesn't, it really is the chocolate flavor. All right, raspberry filled dark chocolate bar with Danish jammy filling for max indulgence. Danes love their raspberries. They love them in Hindbærsnitter, a mouthful of a word, but basically a fancy Pop-Tart. Oh, okay. They love them in cold pudding. They love them in fluffy layer cakes, but they especially love them in chocolate. This chocolate-covered raspberry jelly is mirror-like on the inside. So shiny, it's almost too pretty to eat. Almost. You should easily be able to adopt the position of the Danes and polish off this raspberry confection in no time. All right, well, I'm going to have to take a small bite of this because I have to split this with everybody later. All right, what do we have? We have to open it a little bit more. Don't cut your finger off. Oh, okay, so I'm trying to pull it out and it's like really must be just chocolate and jelly. So hold on, because it's wanting to separate. So let's just see if I can just, it feels like a marshmallow, you know, those chocolate covered marshmallow things that we have in the States. Okay, well, it literally is just the jelly inside of this chocolate. So I had a piece of the chocolate that fell off, and it is dark chocolate, but it's not like 70–90%. More like a semi-sweet chocolate. Okay, so it is very, the jelly part is very sturdy, firm, gelatinous. You have to chew through it. Kind of like a gummy, like a soft gummy. Okay, this reminds me of a chocolate covered cherry, except it's raspberry and it doesn't have the liquid. But it's really got that kind of flavor because you've got the dark chocolate against the fruit. I will say that you can definitely taste the raspberry in this one. So the chocolate is not overpowering in this case. It really is harmonizing with it. And if you don't like dark chocolate, you might not like this because, again, that side is very strong, but the raspberry side is very strong too. But texture wise, it is, or even like maybe a firm jello. That doesn't seem right. I'm trying to think of something it compares to. But yeah, I can't think of anything else. I mean, it really does kind of seem like a firm jello that you have to chew through. But I'll give this a 3 because it's also not better than the dill chips. So what do I think of Scandinavia? Well, I definitely still would like to go there, but now I know some things to avoid. I definitely don't want any of Klaus Pilgaard's work again, and definitely do not want any of those gingerbread toffees. Ugh. So this box definitely didn't rank as high for me as the very first. The Czechoslovakia box was really good, and so it's kind of been hard to beat that so far. But it's still fun. Now there is one other thing in here. I think maybe they've started doing this now because this is the second box in a row that I've got a game with. So I really love that they are doing games unique to the country, and this one's called Nav or Gna. I don't know if they pronounce the G there. GNAV. Play one of Scandinavia's oldest games. Oh, there's things on the bottoms of these little player pieces or whatever. Get ready to hop into the time machine because we're headed to the 1820s. If you were a Danish or Norwegian sailor in those days, odds are you'd be passing the time with a game called Gnav. Gnav. It's probably supposed to be more throaty, right? Traditionally played with either a deck of cards or set of wooden pieces, this game is part luck, part strategy, and can be played with up to 10 people. Wow, that's nice. While the game has fallen out of popularity in modern times, of course, playing a round or two of Gnav will instantly transport you back in time and give you a great idea of how people once had fun in Scandinavia. So it's got the instructions in here, and there's a cuckoo piece, a knight piece, a cat piece, horse, house, 13 numbered ones. There's a pot piece, an owl piece, and a foot piece. So we may have to give this a try. This might be a good game for us to play tonight after we play bingo. All right, well, that brings us to the end of this treat box, Yum Yum box. And do I feel like I have a good, should I hold up something that well, I guess I should, if I was being nice, I would hold it up with the winner. So this is the winner. This is number 1. Oh, I'm like shaking. All right. Well, thank you for coming along this journey with me. Again, remember to check out the description box below in case you're interested in doing a subscription yourself. They do have 3 different levels of subscription. I've got the medium one again. We have done the biggest one in the past before, and with those you usually get a beverage and more of this stuff. And I'm not sure what gets excluded if you do the cheapy box. But again, if you happen to use my friend code, we'd both get $5 off of a box. But no pressure. I'm still going to buy these boxes whether anybody ever, uses my code or not. And I guess I'm thinking now that I probably am not going to get to record anything else today because I totally forgot we needed to make cookies. But I also got to figure out if I am supposed to wait and make the cookies if the kid that's working wanted to help with that. I'm not sure. So I don't know. We'll see. It's like 12:30 here where I'm at, and it's like 62 degrees outside, you guys. That's really making it hard to be in the Christmas festive spirit. But I did get my sign changed, so there's that. And I'm wearing my David Archie pajama top, which you can see I did not give away. Surprise, surprise. So anyway, wherever you are, whenever you are, I hope you're having a great day or getting through it or just okay. And until we meet again, take care of yourself. Bye.